What is a 36-year-old man doing sleeping with a 12-year-old boy, or a series of them? Right. Okay, when you say boys, it's not just boys, and I've never invited just boys to come in my room. Come on, that's ridiculous. And that's a ridiculous question. But like, since people want to hear it, you know, the answer, I'll be happy to answer it. I have never invited anyone into my bed, ever. Children love me. I love them. They follow me. They want to be with me. I could never harm a child or anyone. It's not in my heart. It's not who I am. And it's not what I'm not even interested in that, because there wasn't one piece of information that says I did that. In any way, they turned my room upside down, went through all my books, all my videotapes, all my private things, and they found nothing that can say Michael Jackson did this. Nothing.
But let me ask you
to
a
this
couple
day,
of questions.
nothing. Still nothing.
Let me ask
nothing,
you a couple.
nothing.
But one thing I've been meaning to talk about is Michael Jackson. And I genuinely think Michael Jackson's 100% innocent. I think he was framed.
Michael Jackson's maid says she was paid $20,000 to lie about seeing him showering with a kid in Neverland. Later, she admitted in court that this never even happened. The Chandler family was awarded $22 million in a settlement. But Jordan Chandler came out and his father pressured him into making false allegations against Jackson. He said, quote, "I never meant to lie and destroy Michael Jackson, but my father made me tell lies." The FBI has a 600-page report on Jackson from as early as 1992, where they secretly had him under surveillance. They raided his property multiple times, including forensic analysis of his computer and hard drive. He was under surveillance over 13 years, and they still found nothing. But who was accused 1 month after Jackson's trial started while the whole world was paying attention to Michael Jackson?
Jeffrey Epstein.
If you look through his first lawsuit, he did settle for $26 million. And during his settlement, he claimed his innocence through all of it.
Yeah, I remember Tom Mesereau said that, you know, once he got to know Michael and he was working on his case, Michael said that his biggest regret was settling that first lawsuit.
Michael Jackson told me in no uncertain terms that settling that case in 1994 was the biggest mistake he'd ever made. He should never have settled it. He should have fought it through a trial. He would have won. It was an absurd case.
And then more people just started accusing him.
Back to the Sheraton Hotel at Universal over here. There's 4 FBI agents waiting for me in the hotel room. And my mom's there and she's like, "Tell them what happened." And I'm like, "What do you mean tell them what happened?" And I sit down with them and they all ask these super back-sided questions. And I knew that at my age already. And I looked at all 4 of them and I said, "Are y'all crazy?" I said, "What you think I'm going to do? Tell you that Michael did something bad so that we can sue him for money?" That's what I told him. I was like, "You're crazy." And I looked over at my mom and I was like, "Are you serious, Mom?" I was like, "What is going on here? Why are you letting this happen?" And she goes, well, I think something happened. You know, I think so. And I'm like, really? That man did nothing but be hospitable.
And if you guys don't remember Michael Jackson was the most famous person on the planet.
I don't think people understand how big Michael Jackson was. I don't think they understand it because they weren't alive when it was happening.
It's like, what's going on? He goes, "It's Michael Jackson." I'm like, what?
What was it like meeting Michael?
Unbelievable. He was like a genius. Everybody knows who Michael Jackson was. Everybody.
Before the internet, like, tribes knew who this man was.
Vous savez ce que c'est, ça? C'est la neige. Dans les pays froids, tombent des morceaux blancs, très glacés, et après les hommes glissent dessus.
Michael Jackson.
Comment vous savez?
Je l'ai vu une fois à la télé à la ville.
Il y en a combien qui le connaissent?
All right. There was women that would faint because he would look at them, okay? Jackson was bigger than life. And it does appear that he had his life ruined because he owned a giant music catalog. He owned the Beatles, and the Beatles were like only thing bigger than Michael Jackson. Sony offered half of their music catalog to get Michael Jackson to give up the Beatles. So he sold the Beatles and got this giant catalog, and he started giving the rights back to artists and whatnot. The cool thing about Michael Jackson is he's the only person to own Eminem. Like, example, Eminem wrote like this song about him, and Michael Jackson came out and said that was offensive, and then Eminem like something back So Michael Jackson bought his record label. Savage. But the one thing that sticks out to me is that one kid that came out and did an interview and claimed his innocence, and then he himself. It was a pretty compelling interview too. I'm not gonna lie.
And like, I saw him looking at girl's booty. I said, I saw you looking at her booty. He was like, I was like, and so I hear these stories of like Wade Robson, and then I'm like thinking to myself, wait, hold up. I know Wade Robson. What is this? Like, what do you mean leaving Neverland? Like, I left Neverland. Everything was cool, homie. Like, what's your problem? Did you dream this up? Did your parents tell you to do this?
Yeah, I mean, they tried to sue for like $100 million, and ultimately it was dropped. They got nothing out of it, as they should.
Nothing.
As they
That
should.
dude didn't do shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, I knew Michael better than all of them.
Yeah, I believe
even,
it. Everything
even Macaulay,
that I've seen,
if it was Macaulay right now.
I'm not buying it.
Even
I'm
if it was
not buying
Macaulay Culkin sitting right here, he would tell you the same thing I did with the same assertiveness.
And with too much power in the music industry, and they had to put a stop to it.
Footage of the video shoots of Rabbi Marvin Heyer, an activist for Jewish causes, who was outraged because last June Jackson sent him a letter of apology for singing those lyrics.
I'm shocked. Jew me, sue me, kick me, kike me. Those are the words that he told us that he would never use.
I want people to get the picture. Yeah. So they shut up talking about don't Jew me. You understand? Yep. In other words, they don't say Michael Jackson is a very bad person and he should be convicted of this child.
On the testimony of the child accuser.
In general, the child will be able to recall and recollect with some detail the incident, and that is persuasive to a jury, even if it is the only testimony that is available.
With the candle?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Okay.
Jackson gave a wave when he was released after booking. He's scheduled for arraignment in January.
Michael's been a long-time resident of Trump Tower, and last night the Donald strongly reiterated his defense of Jackson with Larry King by going after the accuser's mother.
She's had plenty of experience at going after people, and she goes after them viciously and violently. Michael would spend a lot of time with my kids. I have beautiful kids, and at the time, like at Mar-a-Lago, and even in Trump Tower, the kids were very young. Michael would come, play with the kids. He just loved children.
Michael Jackson, after he started talking about Jews, I'm not going to say that what he said about them was right or wrong or whatever, but it is a fact of history.
He was in Brazil to shoot the music video for his song, They Don't Care About Us. Last year, he angered Jewish groups when he sang these words. Michael then gave in to pressure and changed the song. But in Brazil, the controversial lyrics were back, and he sang it this way.
There's been another issue raised. In a song you say, Jew me, sue me, and some people are saying that that is anti-Semitic.
It's not anti-Semitic because I'm not a racist person. I could never be a racist. I love all races of people, from Arabs to Jewish people, like I said before, to blacks. But when I say Jew me, sue me, everybody do me, kick me, kike me, don't you black or white me, I'm talking about myself as the victim.
And what do you think happened to the catalogs that Michael Jackson owned? Where do you think has them now? Do you think it's the Jackson family? No, it's not. Sony actually got the catalog back after Michael Jackson died. The Jackson family got nothing. And I think about it a lot because, like, when I was a kid, I was super afraid of Michael Jackson. That was, like, one of my biggest fears, like the clowns, was Michael Jackson. Like, Jackson was going to come and get me.
Ow! It looks like Michael Jackson's coming right at me!
They ruined, like, one of the most innocent people on this planet's life. Think about it this way. Having a childhood and, like, it treats you like a god, but the children, so you want to have a little bit of your childhood, play with the children. You can't go out in public because you're Michael Jackson. Like the Jesus when it comes to fame. So he makes friends with children, and, like, what he loves. He loves innocence of children, and that's his thing. It's not my thing. But that was his thing, and they turned the thing that he loves the most and make him look like this evil, nasty person. Just think about Michael Jackson. Most people can't even remember how famous the guy was. Damn, it's snowing hard, but I ain't no. Yay! Bought my dream bike, I'm gonna ride it! Can't feel my fingers, oops. Y'all cold?
Nice day to ride a bike.
What a beautiful day out. Normally I keep my phone on my dash, but I didn't even think about it because it's so freaking cold. Don't you know bikes are dangerous? When you're driving your car in the snow, it's dangerous. Fuck you. I am not a woman driver, so I think I can handle it. Jackson was innocent, dashing through the snow on my HP4. These $2 gloves are not cutting it anymore. Hope you guys enjoyed the last riding video for a while. We gotta wait for the snow to get off the road. January is gonna suck! Alright guys, I'm gonna focus on driving because I'm freezing my ass off and I might go hypothermic. So, enjoy this video. Like and subscribe, hype up the video, and like my shorts, damn it! Alright, see you guys later.
I don't read all the things written about me. I wasn't aware that the world thought I was so weird and bizarre. But when you grow up, as I did, in front of 100 million people since the age of 5, you're automatically different. My childhood was completely taken away from me. There was no Christmas, there was no birthdays. It was not a normal childhood. No normal pleasures of childhood. Those were exchanged for hard work, struggle, and pain. And that's why I love children and learn so much from being around them. I realize that many of our world's problems today, from the inner city crime to large-scale wars and terrorism and our overcrowded prisons, are a result of the fact that children have had their childhood stolen from them. The magic, the wonder, the mystery, and the innocence of a child's heart are the seeds of creativity that will heal the world. I really believe that.